All right, sorry everyone for the technical difficulties earlier, but we are back now with Golden Eagle Deschutes and Bree. Hi, Bree.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, and thank you for sticking with us through our technical difficulties this morning. I'd like to welcome you to our Facebook Live. And as we get started today, we'd love to offer a big thanks to all of you for joining us, as well as to our Wildlife Live sponsor, Portland General Electric, who continues to support us so we can share the stories of these incredible ambassadors with you all. If you feel that you can also help support us at this time, there is that donate button that you are welcome to use, and we really appreciate all of your support. Hope to see you all back here soon, live in person. But today the story we're going to talk about is that of Deschutes, our golden eagle.
So, Bree, tell us a little bit about Deschutes. Where did he come from and how did he come to live at the Oregon Zoo?
So Deschutes is a golden eagle. They're found right here in Oregon, in the eastern part of our state, in the high desert areas. And that is where Deschutes was found. On the side of the road, he had been injured. So you'll notice if Deschutes turns his head to left, you'll see he does not have his right eye. That injury to his eye could not be repaired. And because eagles are so reliant on their vision to help them hunt and survive in their native range, the best place for him to come at that point with that injury was to live here with us at the Oregon Zoo.
So Ellie is asking, what do golden eagles eat?
Yeah, Ellie, so golden eagles will eat a variety of animals. They are carnivores and predators, so they will eat lots of small to medium mammals. They will sometimes eat reptiles or birds, but they really like to eat things like jackrabbits in their native range. Here at the zoo, Deschutes eats a lot of mice, rats, chicks, quail, things like that.
So Carolyn, Beckett, and Lucas are all asking, what is a golden eagle's wingspan?
A golden eagle's wingspan, everyone, is a little bit over 6 feet. It is quite large. They're beautiful, large soaring birds.
Sophia's asking if he loses a claw, will it grow back if he loses one of his talons?
Yeah, so talons are just like our fingernails. They're made out of the same thing, Sophia. So if it breaks off, it will regrow, but it definitely takes a while with how long and big those talons are.
So Beckett and Lucas are also asking, how long do they live?
Becca and Lucas, they live in their native range if they're out in the wild, surviving on their own. Over 20 years is a good long life for a golden eagle, but in human care, like Deschutes is with us, he will easily live much longer than that. Some golden eagles have lived into their 60s.
Jenny's asking, how heavy of prey can they actually lift and take off with?
They can lift quite a bit of weight. They have been known to hunt something like a pronghorn, which is a large land hoofed animal, but they can't carry it very far because that is really heavy for them. And a golden eagle like Deschutes actually only weighs about 7 to 8 pounds. So they can't carry it too far without it dragging them down too.
Blake's asking if they live in a nest.
Blake, they do build nests, absolutely, out of sticks and things, but they're going to be out in those high desert kind of areas, so not hanging out in large trees like we might have here on this part of our state.
Andrew wants to know, what is their range? Like, where do they live?
Andrew, that's a great question. So golden eagles actually have a really large range. They are found in the western part of the United States and right here in the eastern part of Oregon. But golden eagles are actually found in Europe, Asia, and in northern Africa as well. So they have a large range around the world.
So Adeline is asking if golden eagles can hear well.
Adeline, golden eagles can hear pretty well, but they are known for hunting with that incredible sight. Their sight for eagles is said to be 4 times better than humans, and so that's really what they're relying on to find their prey.
And we have a number of questions from folks asking how good is their vision? You know, they're famous for the eagle eye. Can you tell us how?
Absolutely, yeah. So eagles do have incredible vision. They have binocular vision like ours, but they can actually pinpoint things with just one eye as well. It said that they could spot a rabbit up to 2 miles off of the ground because they're soaring really high on those air thermals, and so they need to be able to see that prey when it's really far away.
Isabeau asked, where does his name originate from? What is Deschutes?
Deschutes is a river in the eastern part of our state here in Oregon, and so because Deschutes was found near the Deschutes River, he was named after that. He was found near the side of the road, but in the Bend area.
And so, Bree, you mentioned before that Deschutes flies as part of the Wildlife Life program. I'm gonna put up some footage here of Deschutes in flight, and can you talk a little bit about Deschutes as a flyer?
Absolutely, I would love to. So Deschutes is incredible at flying. Even with having one eye, it doesn't impact his flight ability at all. That really large wingspan allows him to catch a lot of air under his wings and soar really high in the air. He does long flights from the very back of our event lawn all the way to our stage so he can soar over people's heads. And we do a lot of training with all of our ambassador birds that participate in our flight shows so that they can free fly over people's heads and give them that incredible experience.
So while we're watching some of this flight footage still, and Blake is asking if Deschutes can still see pretty well even though he has one eye.
Yes, absolutely, Blake. Deschutes can see just fine, but of course only having one eye, just like if you cover one of your eyes with your hand, it can start to affect what we call our depth perception, our ability to see really how far away something is. And for an eagle, that could really affect how well he's able to catch prey. So that's why Deschutes lives here with us. He's still able to fly, he's still able to land just fine and see what we're doing with him. But on his own, it would be tough for him to catch all the food he needs to survive.
So we're gonna go back and take a close-up look at Deschutes again here. Alexandra wants to know what his favorite food is. What's his favorite snack?
Alexandra, his favorite snack is probably rats. He really likes to eat big pieces of prey that he can tear up. It's really important for them to be able to do that. Helps to keep their neck muscles nice and strong.
And Theo's asking, how much does Deschutes weigh?
Oh, Theo, that's a great question. Deschutes weighs about 7 pounds, and his weight can fluctuate a little bit or change a little bit over the course of the year, whether it's summer or winter. We all like to have that nice winter layer to keep us warm, but generally he weighs about 7 pounds.
So Bree, Deschutes, like all the other bald eagles that live here, all came here injured, and we have a kind of a cool partnership with Portland Audubon to rehab eagles. So we're gonna put up some footage of that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure, we have an excellent partnership with Portland Audubon Society where we share expertise and knowledge to help try and care for and release injured eagles back into the wild. But a couple of our eagles have not been able to be released back into the wild because of those injuries that they had have also come from Portland Audubon to live with us. But our preference would always be that they go back out into their native ranges where we would prefer them to stay.
So what are some of the sort of injuries that can happen that would require an eagle to be rehabbed, and what is the work that we do here at our veterinary center?
So we work really hard to make sure that these eagles have the best opportunity to get back out into the wild. But common injuries that we might see with eagles coming in might be an injury to an eye like Deschutes has because he was hunting near the side of the road and was hit by a car. It's a problem that can happen a lot because our trash builds up at the side of the road and his prey likes to eat trash at the side of the road, and so that can be a problem for them. Another really large problem for eagles is and other raptors or birds of prey is secondary poisoning, and that's something that happens quite a lot that we work to help counteract, and that can be either from household poisons when people are trying to use pest control and poisoning rodents, and therefore then poisoning those predators that eat rodents like hawks and eagles, or from things like lead ammunition. That is the other big threat to a lot of eagles and raptors out there. They end up eating carcasses or carrion that is filled with lead ammunition and get poisoned from that. So those treatments are really big things that affect them, their biggest threats.
So Molly's asking, is there a good way to tell the females from the males in golden eagles? I know it's can be difficult.
That's a great question, Molly. Yeah, so the golden eagles don't have what we call sexual dimorphism, which means that the males and females don't have different feather patterning. The biggest difference that you might be able to see is in their size. But size is a range, right? So it can be tough to tell a female from a male, although the females generally are quite a bit bigger than a male. But that's hard to tell unless you have two eagles sitting right next to each other.
And we're gonna take one last question. It is, how can people help eagles like Deschutes? How can people help eagles survive?
That is the most excellent question, absolutely. So eagles like Deschutes, the best way that we can help them is to preserve their habitat and make sure it stays clear of things like lead ammunition, like pollution and trash buildup that is really going to cause problems for them and create places where they might become injured. And so the best things that we can do is help keep those habitats really healthy for them.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Bree, for hanging out with us and Deschutes this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us and helping us work through our technical difficulties. We do have some activities for you for after this video, so please post those activities in the comments. And thank you again for joining us today.